Hello, this is John Phillips. I'm the treasurer at St. Michael and All Angels Episcopal Church, and I wanted to take a couple of minutes to go over what we've been doing in the past year, actually go back a couple of years, and spend some time looking at the impact of the pandemic as it has touched us in all of our lives, and particularly the church and ELC. Starting early in 2020 and continuing into this year, the church and the Early Learning Center have focused much attention and resources on dealing with the threat of COVID-19. Necessary changes were made in the way we used our facilities and interacted with one another. These changes were undertaken to provide safe places for our continuing church and child care activities. Thanks be to God, this year, 2022, the pandemic, although it's still with us, has abated considerably and enabled us to get back to more normal in-person worship and other gatherings in person in the church, and for the ELC to resume its normal operations. So this has all been good news. But our financial position has been impacted by this pandemic and other events, and is reflected in a number of points I'd like to go over. First of all, church net losses have trended upward the past 3 years. In 2020, we incurred $7,000 in losses. In 21, we incurred approximately $14,000 in losses. And so far in 2022, through the first 3 quarters, we're standing at $69,000 in losses. And we are hopeful that the fourth quarter will either stop us from losing more or reduce that, hopefully substantially. That is yet to be seen. But fourth quarter is generally, traditionally, a better quarter, or better than the first 3. The second point is the church contribution income has declined, and this has really affected our church losses considerably. In the same 3-year period, we went from $297,000 of contribution income in 2020 to $249,000 in 2021. And this year, the church has received $156,000 through September, again with 3 months of giving ahead of us. So there's a challenge there for us in the way we give, the amount we give, and the trends that we've been following. ELC net income is more positive. In the same 3-year period, ELC earned $45,000 in net income. It rose in 2021 to $147,000, and so far through September of this year, 2022, net income is $50,000. Federal funding programs have significantly aided our church, and especially the ELC, whose personnel, supplies, and other costs have risen significantly to meet the challenges caused by COVID. In the first 3 quarters of 2022, ELC has used $193,000 in grant funds to offset these expenses. A couple of positive developments in the past year. We spoke a year ago about the dial building renovations, and that was approved by the Mission Council. We have completed that project in August of this year, so it's been in place. It's completed on time, which was, I thought, quite an accomplishment given the other challenges around construction of just about anything these days. It's provided a significant expansion and updating of our facilities. It's enabled us to rebalance the enrollment among the various age groups, and also provided a positive impact on ELC's net income. So those are all plus items. Finally, I'll make mention of the church software, which is being converted to a new system provided by ACS Technologies, which is a company just down the road from us, headquartered in Florence, and they've been in business for decades and have a very high profile, especially in church software. This product we expect to greatly enhance our ability to interact with our members and provide more robust accounting and reporting. And we look forward to communicating more on this as the conversion efforts continue. Finally, the church continues, as we've noted, to be challenged by our trend of declining levels of income and the impact it has on the impact through the giving. On the expense side, we have been diligent in monitoring costs, maintaining a proper level of compensation for our employees, and managing our basic operating expenses. Expenses also have come under pressure more recently in this post-pandemic inflationary period. In the past, St. Michael's has been blessed with good stewards of our funds. These members have watched over income and spending and provided for ample cash reserves to aid us in difficult times. An excellent example is our endowment fund, which was created in the 1990s and has since provided significant funding for major repair and renovation projects. An example is the recent Dial building rebuild. This and other cash reserves are significant, but they're not infinite, and they have been declining. Reserves are largely designated for significant or unusual events, not church operating expenses, which are normally covered by regular contributions. These are challenging times for us. Nevertheless, we can be uplifted by our trust in an ever-present God, whose word is always before us. As comes to us from the writing of Moses in Psalm 90, which is considered the oldest of our Psalms. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Satisfy us in the morning with your unfailing love, that we may sing for joy and be glad all our days. Make us glad as many days as you have afflicted us, for as many years as we have been in trouble. May your deeds be shown to your servants, your splendor to their children. May the favor of the Lord our God rest on us. Establish our work of our hands. Establish the work of our hands. Thank you. God's peace and blessings to you all.